governors, as well as fill a vacant seat of a longtime Nevada senator.
We have team coverage spread out all across the valley as we anxiously await the first results in Clark County to come in. Let's begin with 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan at the area where the Democratic Party is gathering right now. Brian.
Well, it's not much of a party right now. They started letting people in here about 15 minutes ago. I spoke to a few people as they made their way in, asked them their thoughts about this, and they said this is not at all what they expected. One woman I spoke to said she was nervous, didn't expect to do that. We are getting a big cheer here in the crowd, from the crowd, as some of the networks are calling Hawaii for Clinton. But as I said, these people said they are nervous right now, not what they expected here, keeping a close eye on some of these battleground states. Somebody with Catherine Cortez Masto's campaign said they're really interested in North Carolina at this point. Michigan and Nevada, also key races people in this crowd are keeping an eye on. So we're really waiting for those numbers to post on the Secretary of State's website, as there is nervous energy in this crowd, even though we are hearing some cheers from them as states are called for Clinton. Right now, I'm going to toss it over to Leslie Marin, who's at the South Point with the Republican Watch Party.
Brian, will tell you, it is loud. You can hear this crowd behind me. They have been cheering since Fox News over here projected Donald Trump winning Florida. They have just erupted in cheers here. You can see this crowd just gathered, watching anxiously at those TVs. These people here, while others may be surprised at what a lead Donald Trump have taken, I've been talking to them. They say they're not surprised at all. They knew he was going to win. They felt like he was going to win. You can see they're wearing their Trump shirts. A lot of people here to just support Donald Trump, and you can really see it as people wait anxiously here. They're having a party. They're excited because they believe their candidate will take it tonight. Reporting live, Leslie Money, 13 Action News.
Back in the war room here, and what a war it is tonight. I'm here with Sig Rogish, the most successful Republican consultant in the history of Nevada, and Richard Bryan, the former senator and governor, the greatest Democratic politician perhaps in the state's history. Now that I buffed you up, you better be good. Senator, we've all just been shaking our heads before we came on the air. You're in shock, aren't you?
I am. I need a dictionary. I don't know how to describe it other than indescribable, unbelievable, unfathomable.
As we sit here right now, Nevada might be important. We don't know yet. Pennsylvania and Michigan are still out there, and Wisconsin. Hillary Clinton needs to win those to make Nevada important. If not, the election's probably over.
I think you're probably right. I look at the numbers in those big states like Michigan and Wisconsin. You traditionally get the early votes from the inner cities, and those trend heavily toward the Democrat vote. And so I have to think rural county votes are going to come in, and that probably favors Trump, and he's already ahead. So it's going to be very unlikely that those things change.
I should tell people, probably wondering what's going on in Nevada. We don't have many results yet. A few rural counties numbers are trickling in, but it's insignificant, so it's not worth talking about. We're waiting for the Clark County numbers, which are the biggest deal. Sometimes you see, Senator, these waves that happen.
Yes.
But occasionally when they happen, Nevada goes counter to the wave. Am I right?
That's exactly right. Well, Nevada has called the winner, you know, in every presidential race in this century, other than the Ford victory, or rather the Carter victory over Ford in 1976. I think this may be another exception. I think Nevada is going to go for Clinton. I think at this point, I don't see how she has the pathway to get 270 electoral votes with the way the tide is merging all over the Midwest against her.
All right, we're going to talk more about this. We're going to be back in the war room in a while. Back to you, Steve and Tricia.
All right, thank you so much. And of course, Senator Harry Reid's seat is a coveted seat here in Nevada.
And that race is being closely watched by everybody around the country, because that could have a huge influence on the balance of power in the Senate.
That's true. All right, let's go to Masa Saidi right now with the very latest on that. And Masa.
Yeah, that's right, Tricia. Steve, the balance of power in the Senate right now is 47-45 with the Republicans. This presidential race is so gripping. It's hard to pull yourself away from watching that. But the race between Catherine Cortez Masto and Representative Joe Heck is critical as well. Again, the control of the Senate is on the line. There are 9 close races that we have been monitoring all night. Illinois flipped and went over to the Democrats, Indiana and Florida to the Republicans. The Secretary of State, as John Ralston was just saying, still has not released the numbers for our state. But things do look good here for Catherine Cortez Masto, despite what happens between Trump and Clinton, because of the high minority turnout today and also the early voting returns that we got. Catherine Cortez Masto is the granddaughter of a Mexican immigrant. She's talked a lot about immigration reform. She's really tried to go out of her way and link Joe Heck to Donald Trump, hoping that Hispanics in our state are going to be so offended by some of the comments that he has made that is going to drive them to go to the polls. And it does seem like that is what we are seeing. But again, it is a very anxious mood here. People cheering every time another call for Clinton is made. So we're going to continue to watch this very closely. But now that's the very latest for right now. We want to send it back to you guys in studio.
All right, Melissa, thank you.
I want to point out to our viewers very quickly, we have the first results. If you look down that L-shaped bar there, these are some of the first initial returns coming in for Nevada, and we're waiting for Clark County, the big numbers dump, so to speak. So that's when we'll really start to get a much better idea what's happening in the Senate race, as well as how Nevada is going to vote for the president.
That's right. And another thing we want to talk about tonight is something that's been very controversial here.
The ballot issues.
That's right, the ballot issues. And we're talking about the recreational marijuana. And David Schuman joins us live right now. He has more insight on that. He's live from Twain and Boulder right now.
Well, we're at Shango Cannabis Dispensary on Boulder Highway. It's a business that's looking at a possible boom if marijuana becomes legal. Now, people here are waiting on the voting results with Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong fame. We spoke to him earlier. You'll hear from him tonight on 13 Action News at 11. The comedian is a big proponent of pot, as is everyone here, but the anti-legalization side has a strong voice as well in Las Vegas.
All the way around, it's a bad deal for Nevada. Public safety issues, more high drivers on the road. We've seen that in Colorado. We've seen fatal accidents with drug drivers go way up.
Now, as of a couple minutes ago, results of the Question 2 vote haven't started being reported, but people on both sides of the issue told me today they expect it to be very close. Supporters of Question 2 say it's time that we become more open-minded as a society. They say there's a lot of opportunity in marijuana, especially when it comes to tax revenue. They project there's going to be millions of dollars that go toward education. Naysayers say the money will only be a drop in the bucket for the state's education fund. But whatever happens, this is a process that will take years to play out and for us to fully understand the effects. Now, here tonight, people aren't thinking that far ahead. They're just enjoying speaking to comedy legend Tommy Chong. Again, you'll hear from him tonight on 13 Action News at 11. Reporting live, David Schuman, 13 Action News.
All right, David, thank you. And what an exciting night. It has certainly been a lot of things we weren't expecting, keeping a close eye on everything.
It's turning into a barn burner, and you can sort
sure
of get a sense in the mood between the Republican and the Democratic
Yeah.
gathering points tonight right now. The Republicans definitely feeling the momentum, but the night's not over.
This is true.
And Nevada is going to play what could be a larger and larger role in that. Let's go over to Riley Snyder from PolitiFact. And Riley, I mean, Nevada has always been a battleground state, a key swing state, but as we look at these electoral college numbers coming in off the national returns, Nevada is turning into a capital N.
Yes, we are a capital N. We say that we matter every election cycle. Now more than ever, we may be Hillary Clinton's only path to victory. Our 6 electoral votes, given how close it's been, given the uncertainty in Michigan and other states, Wisconsin, states that were assumed to be safe or lean Democratic are now looking like they're toss-ups or could go towards Donald Trump. So, you know, Nevada could decide this election.
Okay, let's talk about down ballot now, because the latest polls before Election Day, especially in the Senate race, Catherine Cortez Masto having a little bit of a lead over Joe Heck. In the presidential race now, how do we analyze this? Because so many things now have been turned on their ear through this entire election night. Is there any way to safely predict how the Senate race is going to come down?
Absolutely, Steve. You know, if I wanted to use the polls to make a prediction, I'd be just as wrong as everyone
Then
in
we
Florida.
wouldn't bother having elections.
Absolutely. So, you know, Catherine Cortez Masto, the Democratic Senate candidate, Hillary Clinton, were leading by small margins in Nevada, according to the latest polls. We have exit polling, which, again, you need to take with a huge grain of salt, showing them leading in the state as polls closed However, this is still way up in the air. We'll see what happens as results are just starting to trickle in right now.
That's right. We want to point that out because we're just starting to get returns on that race. So let's go back to 13 Action News political analyst John Ralston in the war room where we're crunching some numbers right now. John?
Yeah, we finally got the Clark numbers in. The first post came through. This is all the early and mail votes. Let me tell you where we are. Hillary Clinton has about a 64,000 vote lead. Remember, they had a 73,000 vote firewall built up in Clark County. That should be enough, although I wouldn't say it's 100% sure, should be enough to win depending on what happened on Election Day. Catherine Cortez Masto is actually running ahead of Hillary Clinton, 66,000 vote lead in Clark County. In the contested race for Joe Heck's seat, let me give you those numbers too. In CD3, Danny Tarkanian is losing to Jackie Rosen by about 11,000 votes. That's 5%. And then the Clark part of Congressional District 4, which is 85% of that district, Ruben Kihuen has an 11-point lead or 13,000 vote lead over Crescent Hardy. That race is probably going to be closer than they thought it would be. Let me just check real quickly. In the two important state Senate races, the Democrats are winning both of those after the early votes, not by a lot. Joyce Woodhouse has a 5-point lead, and Victoria Seaman is losing to Nicole Cannizzaro in an open seat by 3 points. If those hold, then the Democrats are going to take the state Senate this year. So those are the big numbers from Clark County. Hillary Clinton and Catherine Cortez Masto looking good in the first dump.
John, thank you. We will check back with you. And by the way, we also want to remind you that you're seeing this L on your screen. These are the latest numbers coming in, so just keep watching this L on your screen.
We're going to take a quick break and be right back with the latest returns that we can put on the screen for you and give you an update on what's happening on these statewide races and some local races. Stay with us.